Check. Okay. Third movie of the day. Yay! Woo! Although this one I technically saw yesterday. But, so, last one. Steve Jobs, our co-star, is here to talk with us about it. So what was the experience like for your brilliant cameo in this movie?
A lot more waiting around than actually doing anything. Like, there are days I show up on set and when I didn't even go on.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you still get paid?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But, times we were on, it was quite fun. Although I kind of learned how much of a method actor Michael Fassbender is.
Really? Is he a method actor?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
For one, for some of the scenes ready to be pissed off, I'm not sure if he got himself purposely pissed off.
Or he's really that good of an actor.
No, he was actually quite mad. No, because like in the scene where like fixing the computers, he was actually a nice guy. Like after he nearly hit me in the head with a book, he was like, "I'm sorry about that." And but yeah, like.
And you couldn't get him on the show? What the fuck? You got quite the rapport with him by the time that shoot was over, yeah. I'm sure.
I wish.
Yeah, right. That'd be awesome.
Michael Stuhlbarg was actually really.
Which one was Michael Stuhlbarg?
He was Andy Hertzfeld.
Oh, okay.
He was really cool. Like he talked to us like on his downtime.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, like we're waiting for stuff to go on. Like apparently he's like really knowledgeable about stuff. Like he had a book all about the original workers of Apple and all that.
Mm-hmm. God, I wish we had business cards back then.
Yeah.
It was like, here, give this to all the big actors.
Yeah. But yeah, case in point, like what was it? The scene in the elevator, which you can more clearly see me in.
You were like right in the middle of the frame. It's kind of hard not to see you.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of cool. It's like, ooh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure if this is just because Fassbender was probably like really tired, or he just like I said kind of got himself into character a bit too much. Mm. But like, there's some part where like we're all trying to get into the elevator. Because okay, let's get some context for the scene. Basically, the movie starts off in 1984 at the Mac launch, or the press event at De Anza. So basically, there's this huge problem where the computer's not working properly because of some unspecified error, and so he's trying to get everything fixed up. So at one point, Andy Hertzfeld is with all the core Mac developers because apparently he kind of had them as his backup because that would hopefully keep Steve from going completely overboard, at least have some people to help him out.
And you had your Clark Kent disguise with the glasses in the back.
I wanted to wear my ugly sweater that Bill Atkinson's so famously known for wearing.
I was so distracted by the glasses. I was like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah. That was a fun time trying to pick those out.
Really? You have like a lot of them on the table and shit? Really?
Yeah.
I was just in the dark. Fuck.
But anyway, so when we're all trying to like get away, like cram in the elevator to go fix the problem, like one of the guys, he was pushed into him and he actually like got bumped into Fassbender.
Oh.
And so after the trial was over, it's like, excuse me, just don't try to push through me next time. Like,
don't ever fucking touch me again.
Yeah, not quite like that, but like he was definitely not in the best of moods. So like he did his best to keep himself composed.
Well, at least he was polite about it.
Yeah, but it's just like, the thing when he shouted like everyone go now. Mm-hmm. You did not see me jump, but I was just, and like the other actor just like, dude, were you acting or were you actually scared? I was like. The fear was real.
Dude, I'm scared of Fassbender too. He's Magneto. You can kill me with a coin.
Yeah. So it was like, it was really interesting being around him, just basically being around, specifically, I was around Stuhlbarg, Winslet, and Fassbender.
Okay. That sounds, if I was anywhere even close to the same room as Fassbender, I'd be freaking out a little bit.
I was, in my head, it was just,
I would be too. I would have to resist every urge of my body and go, can you sign this?
Yeah. And, yeah. Oh, one other thing that I did that is a little fun fact was basically to keep ourselves, when the second part they're like, so what's going to, it's the Mac, it's got to be playful, it's got to be smiling, da-da-da-da. Yeah. I'm talking with one of the other guys in the back, and they're basically like, in the background, you see me. He's just like showing me notes, But what you don't see is basically inappropriate comments trying to see if he can make me laugh. So it's like, it was like dick butt or something like that.
Of course there's dick butt.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It was like something it was a reference to something else, and like we were just making obscene comments to each other, trying to see if we can like have each other break character.
Oh, nice. Like, actually, I had a theater friend who that happened to that once, where he's doing like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and apparently has this like long note he has to read from a doctor friend. Apparently, the last night of show they swapped the note, so it said this incredibly long, like hilarious, like obscene description.
Yeah.
Thank God he memorized the note beforehand, though. It's like he looks like, oh, you fucking pricks, and he just kept going through the scene.
And one thing I did learn was I can't remember what the actual character's name is. It was the blonde woman. Her husband actually worked with Apple back in the day.
Okay.
So like kind of around its major inception, which is kind of interesting too. Mm-hmm. So like it was just kind of cool getting like to know all these people. Like some of them, just like.
yeah, it's a pretty cool experience. Yeah. So as far as the movie itself goes, what do you think?
It was decent, but I was a little underwhelmed.
I actually really liked it.
I did too, but I think the lack of structure kind of...
See, I like the structure. I thought there was structure there. It was a very clear 3-act movie. In fact, I would say it was more definite, obvious 3-act structure than I've seen in a long time, which actually I thought was kind of refreshing. Beginning, middle, end. There was arcs, there was characters,
I'm not sure. I think just like that's the thing. Like there were characters. It was a good character-driven piece, but it felt like there was a lack of. Like I know there was supposed to be a lack of plot, but that just didn't kind of do it for me. Like that's the thing. I feel like the first act, it felt like there was something going on, and that was more or less the framing device for everything going else. But there's still like that kind of secondary plot that had like a sense of urgency and whatnot. The second and third act, there really wasn't much to it. It was mostly just a lot of conversation, which
I was okay with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Sorkin film. You're gonna get a lot of that. It's like
Yeah, but even then, like, there's always like goals and whatnot. Whereas here, it's just like, so this this happened, da 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 da. And it's like it's more like it felt like it was all just so exposition heavy. But thankfully, like Sorkin, being the master of dialogue that he is and subtext, that makes up for a lot of it. But it's still
That didn't bother me personally. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be kind of like a reverse of the British Spies review.
Yeah. I still liked it. It's just that kind of lack of an actual major overall structure just kind of.
I would argue there's a structure there. I think there's a definite goal in mind for Steve Jobs, which is like to make the Mac a success, which he eventually does by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say there's a goal in the movie. But I think. Even if there wasn't, I was just so fascinated by the Fassbender's portrayal of the character.
Yeah, because Fassbender is
phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's absolutely phenomenal in this movie. Like, it's.
Oh, which reminds me, I was also in the same room with Jeff Daniels.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was in the same room as Stallone once. Granted, all the way in the back of a 6,500 room.
It's like it's so hard not to just because like everyone is like I wanted to be professional for the most part and just like. Also, I will say this: Winslet was very intimidating.
Wait, which? Oh, Kate Winslet?
Yeah.
Real? I can kind of see that actually.
Yeah, it's like
between this and like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, it's like intimidating. I can see that.
It's like I'm not. It's like I know she doesn't mean to be, but it's just like there's something about like her presence. It's just like I'm gonna slink over here now. It's just it's like you feel incredibly nervous around her. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm not sure it's like her standing or, like I said, she just kind of has that aura about her.
Yeah, I could, especially the garb and the style she was going for in the movie. I could definitely see that.
But I will say this: she talked quite a bit with. That was one of the other interesting things. Like, you may notice, which is another thing that kind of bugged me, was how her accent changed after the first act.
I did not notice that actually.
If you listen, it's like she's kind of speaking like in a normal American accent, but they mention the Polish thing. But it doesn't really kick in until the second act. And the jump was just like...
See, I did not notice that.
And it was interesting because, like, I know...
Maybe she was just trying to do American accent for, like, 1984, try it out, and then she changed her mind until 4 years later.
No, because that's the other thing that's kind of interesting. Is, like, Fassbender and Winslow are actually talking about, like, I listened to them talking about that, like, trying to get, so what would the accents sound like? Mm-hmm. So I think it just took a while to get that, because they went chronologically in order.
Oh, yeah, I can see that, if that was the case. I mean, like, it wasn't obvious enough for me to notice. I know you're much more of an audiophile than I am, so I can see why you would hear that and I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you have a tendency to notice. When I notice ADR stuff, you know it's bad. Yeah. Like, that's what it kind of comes down to.
Yeah.
But, like, I think this movie got a lot of things right. Especially, like, granted, I haven't seen any other Steve Jobs biopics.
Yeah.
I haven't heard many good things about any of them.
Yeah, because there's the joke one with, oh, God, my clone. Or someone who was considered my clone.
I know what you're talking
Justin
about.
Long.
Oh, God.
There's the joke one, then there's the Ashton Kutcher one where it's like, he did a fine job, but the rest of the movie was just...
So, like, this is one I found it legitimately fascinating, just as a character piece.
Yeah, as a character piece, it is great.
I think that's why I liked it more than you did, because like, I was looking at that strictly from a character piece standpoint, less than, okay, this character needs to succeed a certain goal by the end of the movie.
I know, it's like, well, even then, it's like, I knew it was going to be just a character piece, but it was a little hard to get around the fact that it felt like it kind of listed. Like, it was so all about the exposition. And
I don't know, but, like, see, I'm not sure I agree with that, though. I mean, Sorkin material does involve a lot of exposition. That's pretty standard with his work.
But even then, it's like, there's a difference between having exposition and having exposition to forward the plot.
But I think what we're kind of missing here is the fact that it's not just exposition, it's exposition involving emotions. And that's what makes it important. Because, like, these aren't just like, oh, let me tell you the long story of my dead father. Like, there's emotions attached to every one of those exposition lines. There is a reason. There's, like, a jab intended for one piece of exposition. There's, like, an apology meant in some exposition. Like, every line of exposition serves a purpose for the characters.
Yeah, and as I said, like, the subtext behind all the lines is great. Like, the way they flesh out the characters is... I mean, it's good. It's just... I mean, well, more than good. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's just... I don't know. I just feel like... I'm not sure. I just felt like it's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah, this is definitely, like, the reverse of Bridge of Spies review.
Yeah.
No, like, I get what you're saying. I think you're looking more for a plot-driven film, when I'm more okay with just a character-driven film. And that's perfectly fine. That comes to preference. But you're still acknowledging that what is good, like, the character stuff, is still fantastic. It's more just, is that enough for you? I think is what it kind of comes down to.
I think, that's a good way to format it. It's just, like, I felt like that wasn't really enough. Like, the fact that it just kind of, jumped from one scene to one scene to one scene.
Mm. That, at the same time, I kind of like that approach, because it's an approach I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And so, again, for me, it was kind of refreshing, because I get to see the big character arcs, and I get to see, like, how these characters change, and I get to see how they've grown or not grown. Like, the Steve Jobs in the beginning of the film is very, very different from Steve Jobs at the end of the film.
Yeah.
And we get to kind of see through these different press events how that change occurs. And it's pretty cool. It works. Yeah. And again, Fassbender pulls it off with such ease. He makes it look fucking easy.
Yeah. And that might be the other thing that was bugging me then.
What?
The fact that they don't show what facilitated these changes.
I think they can. I think it was kind of explained through the subtext. At the same time, especially a Steve Jobs biopic right now, because there's so fucking many of them, you have to take a different approach.
True.
And I will admit, I was kind of bothered by the fact that apparently everyone chose 30 minutes for a press event to unload their dirty laundry.
Which I love they acknowledge that in the film too. It's like, I don't know why everyone seems to tell me these things 5 minutes before a press launch.
Yeah. So I will admit, that did kind of bother me a little bit, but either one, the dialogue and the exchange between the actors is so fucking good. Yeah. Even Seth Rogen, I gotta give credit, did an excellent job. Yeah. Shows that he can fucking act, so what the fuck is he doing the same goddamn comedy 20 times? But I digress. Seth Rogen, you can act, what are you doing? But
Still making wiser decisions than Adam Sandler.
Not by much.
Unlike Sandler's, Rogen's movies actually get good reviews. We may disagree with them, but... Oh, that was the other thing.
What, The Ridiculous Six?
No, we did a photo session where we were trying to recreate a couple things. So it had Michael Stuhlbarg, as Hertzfeld, Fassbender as Jobs, of course. So I think at the end of the day he was pretty tired. So there were some directions he wasn't quite taking. Because this is like one of those it was at the end of the elevator day scene that we were telling you about.
Yeah.
But given the fact that he was doing 2 weeks straight of filming, it's like I don't blame the guy for being wiped out.
Yeah, I would be too. That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, considering it's 12-hour days too.
I mean, the guy's he's a busy fucking guy.
Yeah, especially with that movie, because what was it? Winslet says there's 182 pages, and he's in pretty much every one.
Yeah, that's exhausting work. I mean, I just did a show last Sunday for 2-3 hours straight where I had to do a Brooklyn accent. My throat still hurts from that. I can't imagine 12 hours straight for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And yeah, I was talking to Rogan a little bit. I didn't give full context for the lines. I did mention I'm glad that the interview didn't get nixed. Mm-hmm. I didn't say that I didn't like it.
Wait, which interview?
The movie.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Because as much as we did not like that movie at all, I felt like that was the worst reason for that thing to have gotten pulled.
Oh, yeah, the stupid controversy shit. Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh, yeah, me too.
Fuck the
He's like, that was a close one.
Fuck the interview, dude. So we actually talked to Rogan about the interview?
I just mentioned that, just saying, glad it didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, oh my god. That's all stupid nonsense.
Yeah.
I will say this, I was talking to Wes about this earlier, the one blessing in disguise with Adam Sandler now is that now he's got the Netflix exclusive deal, is we don't have to go see any more of his fucking movies.
Hallelujah!
Unless somebody asks me to do one on Patreon.
Yeah.
In which case I might be fucked. But
don't give them ideas. You just did.
I just did it too late.
Rewind!
And we already did it with the last Witch Hunter review, in which case Wes immediately went and goes, so how much donations do we have to make you watch Ridiculous Six? Thanks, Wes. It's okay. For $3.50 a month, I'm going to make Wes sit through the Music Meister, which he apparently hates. We're going to do a live review, live reaction shot of it too. If we get $3.50, if that ever happens, who knows. But anywho, so yeah, I think whether or not you like this movie depends on two things.
Yeah.
One, what you want to get out of it, and two, whether or not you like Sorkin's style.
Yeah, because for the most part, I like Sorkin's style.
Yeah, so do I. And I like Social Network despite its flaws, and despite Sorkin's.
I love Social Network.
Despite Sorkin's, he's not very good at running women.
Fair enough.
That's
I was thinking about it because it was interesting knowing how that woman that oh god.
I mean, Kate Winslet's still fantastic in this movie. That's
yeah, she was better. She was better fleshed out. I'd say.
Absolutely.
I was thinking of Social Network specifically.
Social Network. Yeah, Social Network had a lot of interesting female characters.
Well, I was just trying to think. There was Crazy Ex of Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Then there's the one that Zuckerberg was going crazy over. Who, fun fact, is not even real.
Yeah, I know that. Here's the thing about Sorkin, is the fact, especially when he makes biopics, is he's not really interested about telling factual information so much as making an interesting story.
Yeah.
So, that's why, I don't really take this as a factual account of who Steve Jobs was as a person. I just take it as an interesting story. And I did find it as an interesting story, or at least, again, an interesting character piece.
Yeah.
All that being said, I know quite a few things about the exchanges were true. Mm-hmm. Most notably the fact that Steve Jobs, from what I understand, I was not a Steve Jobs nut back in the day, but he was kind of a jerk, from what I understand.
From what I've heard, that's an understatement.
Yeah, and here's the thing about at least the way we portray him in this one. I'll let you have your thoughts. I tell you about something funny, but Steve Jobs, at his best, was a brilliant salesman.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. But with Steve Jobs, he wasn't necessarily an engineer. He wasn't an inventor.
Yeah.
He may have designed some stuff. I don't know enough about what his position or his educational background to say one way or another about that.
That was all pretty accurate.
Okay, but he was a brilliant salesman.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. He had charisma coming up its own, just pouring out his ass when he wanted to. But apparently, just a massive jackass in real life. But
yeah,
anyway,
even after he went through his. He went to India to kind of go to the Hare Krishna. Was it Hare Krishna or there's some kind of phase he went through in India to try and better center himself, which
you got kind of hints of the fact he's more neuroses. his belief in herbology or whatever it was, which, you know, full of shit, herbology.
Yeah, because supposedly that's also one of the things that kind of contributed to his cancer resurgence, from what I remember.
Yeah, they had that weird scene where he took off his shoes and put his feet in the toilet in this movie.
Yeah, where he was just washing his feet.
In the toilet?
Once it's flushed, it's not that bad.
Oh, we're drinking it now most of the time, but... Actually, before anyone gets on my ass about that, not that anyone really would.
Wait, about what?
The whole toilet water being refiltered for drinking water thing. That's an issue going on in California. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I thought that was already going on.
It's been going on for a long time, but it's like a lot of people still like, ew, this is gross. It's like, guys, it's cleaner than most tap water.
Yeah.
The way the filter process works. So honestly, it's helping a lot with California drought.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But yeah, like I said, not too much else to say. I mean, like, I really like the relationships. I love Michael Fassbender in this movie. Like, I found his performance hypnotizing for me during this movie. That's really what it came down to for me.
Yeah. The other thing I kind of liked was they, kind of how they approached the whole father-daughter relationship.
I really like the father-daughter relationship. Now, I don't know anything about that in real life.
I'm not sure. I heard it wasn't. It was definitely exaggerated, but, you know, But it was very unconventional how they approached that. Like, even though he didn't want to admit it, like, he still acted like a father for the most part.
He did, and I liked the dynamic he had with his daughter. And again, that was another kind of cool thing to see that progress through the years. And I definitely see what you're saying when you say I kind of wish some more about kind of how they got to that point. And I agree. I kind of wish some more about that too. That being said, I kind of like the idea of kind of being able to like fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah.
Knowing these characters, knowing how they are, knowing their personalities, where they come from, and what they do, kind of like, okay, then you can kind of piece together what happened, kind of like what set of dominoes collapsed on themselves to lead to where they are now. And again, it's just great dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's great exchanges. I can't think of one confrontation that ever was like ever disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Jeff Daniels is great, Seth Rogen is great, Michael Fassbender is great, Kate Winslet is great. I can talk today. But yeah, I really like this movie, but I definitely see what you're saying from a plot standpoint. It is flawed.
Yeah. Like I said, I still enjoyed it though. It was great to be on, and it was, you know, also good. I was happy to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, Sorkin, despite his great dialogue, there were a couple of cornball moments too.
I don't doubt it. Which parts are you talking about?
Specifically, oddly enough, they're both in the third act. The bit where he's like, "I'm not built well" line.
I actually kind of like that.
And what was it? The whole it's not binary. You can be you can be both nice and a good person and a good like designer or something like that.
That's Sorkin all over. That is such a Sorkin line.
Yeah, I was just like.
I kind of like the "I'm not built well" line because that was kind of a culminating moment for Steve Jobs though. For like me, I was like, that's him kind of admitting I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Which
I know, it's just, it was still a little of a corny line, though.
It was, but for me, it worked for me.
Yeah, but still, despite that, I mean, the rest of the dialogue's freaking great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what was the recurring gag? Was Andy wants you Hertzfelders.
Oh, yeah. It's like, somebody needs to change their damn name.
Yeah, actually, second Andy goes by Andrea, I don't care.
I can't keep doing this anymore, someone's got to, like, call something else. But no, like, everyone has a very clear arc, and that's, again, kind of refreshing, especially in a drama, because, it's just nice to see. Like, even, like, Seth Rogen is very, very different, and much more confident in the third act than he is in the first act. And I like seeing that. Even that dynamic between Andy and Andy and Jobs at the end, again, is very, very different from the almost kind of more confrontational one they have in the beginning.
I would say the stuff between Winslet and Fassbender and or I can't remember Winslet's character's name. Burn Jobs and Hertzfeld and Jobs. I didn't feel those two really changed all that much. I
would say for Winslet, I think she got more comfortable with calling Steve Jobs on his bullshit.
Yeah, that's true.
More so than he did back in like the 84 times. Because towards the end, he is like, okay, you're full of shit. You're wrong about so many things. Here's just one example. And that was enough to blow his mind.
Fair enough.
So I would say, I would argue there are definitely some changes. And particularly with the Andy character, because like his character towards the end apparently has gotten very involved in his family and his personal life.
Yeah. You know, I suppose that is true.
And that does change their dynamic.
It is all a matter of basically like everyone gets a lot more confident, and that's what kind of...
And they kind of stand up to the bully a little bit. And they realize that he's not perfect either, and he kind of needs to face up to some shit. Yeah. And if anything, I kind of wish the movie was a little longer so we see more of the fallout. But
yeah.
So
I think that would have helped a bit.
That would have helped. I think a little bit more closure. I'm not disappointed with what we got. We could have used a little bit more. Yeah. So, like...
it felt like it was a case, kind of like in Age of Ultron, either extend it or trim some of the stuff down.
Because I felt like... Age of Ultron, you need to extend the shit out of it. Yeah. Or cut out the stupid Thor thing. Yeah. A little bit of both, really.
Yeah, there was quite a few things.
I still like Avengers 2. I think it pretty much has the same flaws as the first Avengers, to be honest. Although the first Avengers had better pacing.
Second one had better dialogue.
Does the second one have better dialogue?
Oh, yeah. I rewatched the first one. I was like, ugh. These quips are not as good as I remember.
I still like the quips.
Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, watch this movie, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, longtime viewers of our show, kind of know how we stand on the various movies by now. Yeah. Because, God forbid, we see like 2-3 movies a week now. Just you and me, personally. Like, at least one movie.
Yeah, it's like, at this point, I'm pretty much like a regular co-host. Everyone else is a guest star at this point.
Oh, don't give yourself too much credit.
I'm just saying based on the...
No, I can't.
How much I'm on. Versus, not in terms of actual...
Well, according to our fan at Fan Pop, you definitely are. So... By the way, thanks for watching. No, I've actually talked to him. He's a nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or girl. Actually, I don't know what...
It's a nice person.
Nice person. There you go. I just realized I should not assign gender when I don't know. Yeah. But anyway.
You just had a Steve Jobs reality war.
A little bit. Alright, I already confused the female witch with the male witch earlier today, so it would not be the first time it's happened so far. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have really to say about this. You got anything else to add on to?
Not really. Just like I said, whether or not you are good with like the plot aspects and whether or not you felt like there's some stuff missing in between to really explore some of the more minute details of jobs, like what shape. Well, actually, I'd say they did a fairly okay job of showing what kind of shaped them. So strike that. Just like I said, the exploration in the dialogue is fantastic because I mean Sorkin is very good. Actually, what do you think of Danny Boyle's style of directing?
Did Danny Boyle direct this?
Yeah.
I like that he slowed things down more than Sorkin would. Like, Sorkin made much more rapid fire if he was directing this.
Because for me, it was admittedly a little jarring in some aspects. I like the format change as the years went on. Like, that was a great little...
There were some bizarre directorial choices. Yeah, like random times, like the artistic choices, like when words would appear on the wall and stuff. That was a bit weird.
Yeah, the words, the videos, and like...
like some of it worked, but a lot of times like that just like that came out of nowhere. I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of like the wall. How it was black and white for the first 20 minutes for no fucking reason. It just like that was completely unnecessary, but okay. That was a case where there was I do like how it's shot. Yeah. Like the way the camera work and the cinematography was excellent, and it conveyed the mood exactly the way it needed to.
Yeah, there were like a few small instances, very minute, where like. They were kind of breaking the 180 rule, and just like it kept shifting. Like,
that didn't bother me.
Yeah, it's like it's not a knock on the point. It's not a knock at the movie at all. It's just like it's one of those little few moments that were just kind of momentarily distracting.
Do you want to explain the 180 rule for the viewers at home?
Okay, so there's an idea called the 180 rule, where basically it's there's a certain line that you don't cross. Basically, in which case you keep framing of the characters constant. So say like Michael and I'm on one side of the frame, he's on the other. You only rotate the camera so much to make sure that we keep staying on that side, because once you cross it, it creates kind of a disorienting flip. And that's pretty much the 180 rule.
Cool. Oh crap! Sorry, it's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm already getting the stupid Facebook messages. Not stupid. I don't want to. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I don't want to sound like a jackass. I don't know. I do it accidentally.
I think people are gonna wondering, wait, when was this recorded? How can we figure out what his actual birthday is? Ah!
Birthday's on Halloween. I'll just say it right now.
There you go.
The trouble.
That's right. Tomorrow is Halloween.
Yeah, I know, right? Kind of snuck up on us.
Yeah.
But
candy and presents all rolled into one.
For me, it's
Tweedledee! Wow, so much fun.
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
That was a weird little moment we just had.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
I think we're both just kind of tired.
It's late.
Yeah, but yes, I think there's much else to say. Just a very good movie.
What trailers did you get?
I can't really remember actually. I got the Boston Globe one.
Spotlight.
Adam McKay one that we're not looking forward to. The one with the financial meltdown.
Oh, right. The Good Short? Something like that?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the heck the other one was.
Man, I got fucking good trailers. I got like Oh Caesar and Joy and like shit like that.
Oh, Joy was the other one I got.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Joy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too.
Granted, it has a lot of goodwill because I've yet to see a David O. Russell movie that I have not liked.
Yeah, like even his weaker ones are like not bad.
Yeah.
In which case, the only one is I Heart Huckabees.
Never saw Heart Huckabees.
I've heard that's his middling one.
I will say this though, I am glad he didn't direct the Uncharted movie.
Yeah. Would have been a good movie, but it would have been a terrible Uncharted movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like Fantastic Four, if that movie was actually good.
Yeah.
Because even if that movie was good, it would have been a terrible Fantastic Four adaptation.
Yeah.
But then instead we just got a terrible movie that was also a terrible Fantastic Four adaptation. Why does Doctor Doom look like a Doctor Who villain? The world may never know. We really won't. We don't know what the hell happened on set. Oh, God. So I think that's all we have to listen about this. So.
What other trailers did you have?
That's the only two I didn't write down because I saw it by myself and I was in a rush when I got there. So I was like, okay.
Fair enough.
Let's watch the movie.
Okay.
Because I got hot class, ran to my car, got over there, grabbed a quick hot dog to eat, ran inside the theater, scarfed the hot dog with the trailers already playing by the time I got in there. So
right.
I was in no mood to start raining down trailers. Like fuck it. So what do we got next week?
Let me double check. Ow, my neck.
Because I know I still want to try to see if I can get someone for either Jump in the Holograms, which is probably not going to happen because there's only one showtime for it now. Anywhere.
Scout's Guide to the Zombie.
I don't want to fucking see that!
Oh, is it going to be worse than Dead by Dawn 3D?
Probably. Because it doesn't have the majesty of Christopher Walken. Not Christopher Walken.
There are not a lot of good movies out this week. We got Burnt, Scout's Guide, Our Brand is Crisis.
I think we'll go for 2 out of 3. I could easily go without seeing one of those.
I could probably go without seeing either of them.
Well, we gotta meet our quota. The problem is now I've seen so many goddamn ads for Scout's Guide, I have to fucking see it. And I was so mad when I made that realization because I saw ads start popping up on Hulu like, oh, this piece of shit. Okay, well, it's probably one of those movies that nobody's ever heard about, so I don't have to go see it. But then the ads start popping up fucking everywhere. All of a sudden, I'm like, shit.
And Suffragette is also out right now.
Which one?
The women's rights movement one.
Oh, that's out already?
Yeah, it came out on the 23rd.
Son of a bitch. Is it good?
Yeah. I heard it's all right.
Huh. Yeah, I only saw like one trailer for that. I assumed I had a couple months for that.
Yeah, let me say this. It's getting way better reviews in the movie than Burnt, Scout's Guide, and Our Brand is Crisis.
But we gotta see the widely publicized shitty things first. I don't like it either, man, but that's what we all signed on for. Well, that's what I started doing, asked you to sign on for.
Oh, there's also Paranormal Activity, the Ghost of
Fuck that shit. I'm not wasting my time on Paranormal Activity. I'm not a fan. I've never seen any of the movies. I'm not going to start now.
You can watch Rock the Casbah.
That's the movie I want to try to get someone for Sunday to go see.
Thank God I am busy.
Muhan might go see it.
Oh, right, Room.
Is that out yet? That looked really good.
I'm not sure if it got, just a limited release, but, okay, yeah, it's not playing anywhere near here. Let's wait till next Friday.
Yeah, we'll check back later. Alright, so I think that's all we got, so look back for Definitely Scout's Guide, because we have to go fucking see it. And maybe Bridge Castle if I can talk somebody into it. So, see you guys next week.
See ya.
Happy Halloween. Oh, that's another thing. I'll probably do another Let's Play of Amnesia for Halloween, so look out for that too.